member of Derby, Crown China is just historical. My mother always have peace that only comes out when we have visitors. Then nobody else is using it. It's always in the cabinet. So, and she would say, "Bone China." That's what I remember most about it. It's, boy, watch my bone China.
I didn't realise that in Jamaica, to be fair.
Oh,
I didn't realise that people had it in
There's
Jamaica.
always one piece or a couple of pieces.
Yeah.
That's always in the cabinet.
Yeah, but I didn't
Yes,
know it
and
was
the
necessarily
cup and
Crown
saucer only
Derby.
come out when we have some.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was necessarily Crown Derby, just any china.
No, my mother, yes, boy, Bone China, Derby China.
Oh, is that why you're here in Derby?
No, I don't know. I don't think so, because my brother came here and he received me, so that's why I come to Derby. But I visit Derby, Crown China a lot. Sometimes.
Yeah, I think we had when we were
Even
small.
in the
yeah.
we eat there, isn't it, sometimes?
Yeah, there's a cafe up there now.
But I used to teach a little lad, forgot what his name now, at Sturgis. And he went straight from Sturgis to Derby, Crown China as an apprentice, and he was a good artist. And he promised to do me a plate, but I didn't get it. Till now, I still haven't got it. I can't remember what his name is. It's 1974. So I can't remember what his name is. So many of them. Yeah.
Oh, as you mentioned, 74, I knew a gentleman who used to work at Crown Derby. In the early 70s, I think he worked in the shipping department. Because I think there's a lot of China goes to China. And so, yeah, he used to send stuff to China.
Is it still there?
No.
I think over the years when we've had like the Governor General and all the people from the dignitaries from the Caribbean, we've offered them Crown Derby China, haven't we?
Yeah,
Because of the value that is put on it and the history behind it and the well known as glorious pieces, prize pieces, because people say you are always prized, isn't it? And so because of that, we always see that as something that we want to give to people for presents so that they can remember. I think it's February 2019. We had a piece we went to get a piece for the
Was it the High Commission?
High Commission
Of Jamaica, yeah.
because him and his wife was visiting, and we met that piece that we didn't see anything that we liked very much, and then they said, well, a new piece is coming out, and it was the Rum.
I was going to say, was it the Ram? Yes, it was. Yes.
And this
think
one
that
have
number
different places on it, isn't it?
I think this was
Com-
number 7. Was it
And-
number 7?
So it's a limited edition.
They gave us the chance to, because we were ordering it, to choose which number we want, because it was a limited edition. And we choose number 7. So number 7 of that
The Ram.
batch in 2019.
Went to the
Yes,
High
yeah.
Commission. Went to the High Commission.
Went to the High Commissioner's wife, who didn't come in the final analysis because she was ill, but we sent it to her.
Oh.
Yeah. So I can't remember that very well. That piece, where's the photo? Didn't you take a photograph with me?
Yes, I'm sure there's lots of photos.
Lots.
Lots
You
of
can't find
photos.
one.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
It
No,
would be
because
the
it's
day
not-
that Riley took the photos and
Yeah.
was just like, and it was also when we went and that guy didn't come back into it.
Which one?
The one with
Oh, there was the photographer
Yes,
with
the
the
photographer. We've not
entourage.
had them yet with the entourage.
Oh, the one from the government, from the High Commission. Yeah, we're still waiting on those.
Yes, so waiting for this.
He said those were corrupted, so, you know. But I can remember the ram had different places on it, like part of Derbyshire.
Buxton.
You
all
might
around.
you might
Yeah.
pick that up of the 2019 RAM that they commissioned, and it's quite nice because you can just turn it to the part and you can read about something out in Derbyshire, this
District
place
and
and
also,
different places. That's all I can remember about because at the time you took it up. Maybe you should have had the information.
We both went together and purchased it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you took photographs. You have a phone. You can.
It's not on my phone. I did check. I think it must have been the centre's phone, and we haven't got the centre's phone with us tonight.
But as I said, we don't buy. I don't buy Derby China because the ladies do buy these things, don't they?
We'll call that.
Yeah, they're the ones who look
Yeah.
of the cabinet sorted.
I think it's because I'm not quite sure how popular it is anymore. So, it was one time when people was at the 21st and the 18th and stuff, people used to buy them, Crown Derby, but I'm not quite sure, like for young people now, how whether they do buy it anymore. And
They probably don't.
Do you?
They don't know
because my
enough about the
sister-
history.
She's the avid collector.
Yeah.
She's got a big unit with everything in it.
Who?
And dogs, cats. She started off with cats.
Yeah.
And then she's got
Oh,
all
right.
different sizes of cats, and she moved on to other things. But yeah, she's got all of them in a big unit.
But you wouldn't get someone like probably Tamara doing it.
No,
Not
not the younger generation. No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. So I'm just, is the shop still very popular, or do people just send abroad? What do you think?
It's mostly online now.
Online.
Yeah, a lot of people buy things online now. So yeah, I think it was mostly online.
Yeah, we sometimes go up when the sales are on. We go up, my sister is a collector, so and then we get other bits and pieces. Other
Like dinner plates and
yes,
things.
yes.
And plus she's a member as well, because this piece, when you renewed your membership, she got that one free.
How close is Royal Derby to
Denby.
Delton?
Dalton.
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 Because we have a few bits of those as well.
Totally
I
different.
know, but we're talking about Derby Crown China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they relative to making? Is this come from the same factor sometimes?
For some periods of history, Royal Crown Derby was a sub-brand of
Royal.
Royal Dalton. So they were the same company, but they no longer are the same company. Royal Crown Derby was purchased independently after that, and so it's now a family business again.
Oh,
Okay. I saw myself with some Royal Dalton as well.
don't want to talk about.
As I was looking through.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I've got a few pieces from the early days. I've got the loving cup. I've got that one, and then I've got one of the big cup and saucer. That's amazing. And I think I've got a plate, and I've got a little knife and fork. I think it's a dessert fork. Yeah.
But to talk about the history, it's something that West Indians as a whole, when I was growing up, and I'm sure it's the same now, if you were in the West Indies, they see Derby Crown or bone china as a very selective piece of crockery, they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those days. So,
And plus you always have something the best. Something
Yes.
of the best in your own.
Yes.
It's just like having Clark's shoes.
Yeah.
You've got to have a pair of Clark's
well,
shoes.
I know in Jamaica,
Special
occasion, yeah.
everything like Clarks, they're not wearing each
Yeah.
other.
Mm.
It's just-
In the same way, your Royal Crown Derby China, it's in the China cupboard. You only use it in special occasions.
it's, I suppose the history will not be lost. Sandy, stick a piece of tell you all
Well,
I
as long
know.
as it's open and they're still making China, then it will last, won't it? And
Yeah,
as long as people continue to buy, and
yeah.
tradition will pass on, won't it? And if they've got a family business, then hopefully passes on down to the.
Well, not only that,
generation.
because what might happen today, and you think it's gone out of fashion, have a way of coming around again. And,
Well, I think that's what's happened to Crown Derby. I think that's why, it does like fluctuate, doesn't it? Like all things.
reinvent itself.
Yeah. So that when I'm 21 and things, then we were getting all these. But then as you get, 21-year-olds don't. That's not what they want
No.
anymore, is it?
Yeah, I don't know what they want.
So. But I don't think as far as the association's concerned, I don't think we've got any bone china in any cupboards, have we?
No, we give them away.
No,
We
no,
buy them
but-
and give them as presents.
Yeah, but if we had them here, they wouldn't last, would they?
And
You
then-
know,
they
it's
go for a
like
walk.
anything else. They just go. You have to say you would know who's taking it. Just because a community center, people go freely. You get spoon, you get fork, knife. They all go. So really, you wouldn't have it and say this is something for posterity. It wouldn't be something that you hold on to. It would go missing.
When you say Royal Crown Derby, it's something you remember. It's something that's always been in Derby, and it's something you respect. We've had the organisation has had a good relationship with Crown Derby in the past. We've once had some donation. I think we had those white cups and saucers.
Oh yeah. We've still got some, haven't we?
Yeah, we use them when we have our annual Christmas dinner. We get our white cups and saucers, Crown Derby cups and saucers out.
Just plain white, so you can't tell.
But they're
But I've got the
Second.
brand on the back.
very nice.
So, yeah.
Yes, it's class. It's class. It has been class for many years, and it's still maintained and hold on to that class in older people's mind. We know quality.
Do you want to say something about Derby West Indian Association?
The centre.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose the centre itself, 40 years it's been established last July,
Yeah.
and it's for social, cultural, educational, and recreational, because we run the Derby Caribbean Carnival, which is an part of our work. And we have summer school, as you know, since 1986.
Yes, so you do.
And so, you're part of that. And so we had an exhibition, which is still on, the process, the exhibition per se is not there for you to see, but we are doing the digitalization and the evaluation and so on now. And it's a heritage exhibition around the center's, not just the center, the organizational work since it was established in 1955. And the center, as I said, was 40 years, but the organization is going long before that. And so the exhibition does encompass a lot of our work. I know a lot of our work has been lost because we didn't have a center. We didn't have a camera in those days, so images are not like you can see now. So we have words about what happened, but no images. And so we continue to service the community. We're keeping connected to the community, especially over the last 2-3 years in the pandemic. we've had a lot of volunteers. I thought that probably we wouldn't have had this people coming forward, but there's many people coming forward during the pandemic. I couldn't believe it. I just start having faith in human beings now. So they're not all just with social media. I forgot that there's a community here. So,
no, I think COVID brought out a lot of spirit in
yes,
yes,
and
definitely.
yes, and we've run a COVID kitchen during that time for over 1 year and 6 months or something like that. And we really reached some people, and that has brought a lot of them into the center doing computer classes and health and well-being classes, So our elderly, but our young people also reached that. We've developed anyway. It has its value in that we could work remotely with people. Before most of these social media and technology, we didn't have them, but we were forced to into them.
Yeah, it's been a steep learning curve with the Zoom and communicating that way. Yeah.
We're all tech savvy now.
We had a good coming together of people during the pandemic. We lost a lot of members through that because we were, as a minority group, severely impacted by it in terms of bereavements and deaths. But we've probably brought some of us closer together, realizing our own mortality. So with that in mind. This tomorrow we have, what do you have here tomorrow? Nathan?
Christmas fair.
Christmas fair tomorrow.
Christmas fair. Last year it was so
successful. This
year we have not had the
It's a bit
amount
more
of
low key
work,
this year. Yeah.
put into it because of the exhibition. The exhibition was very time
It's taking up
consuming,
more time.
and so. But we have then next Saturday you have Christmas dinner, and I understand
Annual Christmas dinner.
your numbers are much more up than last.
Yes, I was quite surprised.
So we keep going as an organization. We've been successful for. Although as I said, we've been formed along over 60 years. And we have been mainly run by volunteers. But the last 4 years on, we were successful with having funding from the National Lottery. That has expired, so we are on the move again, looking more funding to continue our work. But again, the volunteers are still here, so we keep going. And we own the land and the building, so that is
Plus.
although they want to get rid of us and people around, they're not ready. Not moving. All right.
Thank you.
Very good.